here's the funny thing. It gets back to the thing you pointed out with the no bars. So he's like, he badly wants us to consume this, knowing that he's going to offend many of us. It just seems like a twisted way to go. You know what I mean?
It's like walking into a room with a T-shirt that says, "I know you're going to get mad at me," or "I know you're going to tell me to shut up," or something.
Okay.
Like it's like preempting the response. I know you're gonna scream at me or something. I know you're gonna tell me to go fuck myself. It's like And so when you lock into that expectation, you're going to precipitate that kind of response. It's like he's almost, I don't want to say reveling, but he's really overly conscious of the rejection.
Reveling is an interesting way to put it, because when I think of reveling, I think of something that's more positive. That's more like he's enjoying the fact that he's needling everyone. But if he's afraid of pushback, I wouldn't necessarily consider that enjoyment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of feelings. I think it's a sort of a messy soup of different feelings going on. And how about this? I'm willing to wager that when he plays shows and does improvisations with his bass flute or the piano, does he have anxiety attacks then? Probably not.
Okay. So this is tied back to hip hop, to those songs, probably those experiences with those songs, probably the way he sort of sits in the world. He sees himself in that guise, and how, I guess, contorted, I would assume he feels inside of. I'm overanalyzing Andre
No,
here.
but that's a perfect word for I think it hits on the head.
So do you think we're being too hard on him then?
You asking the audience or you asking me?
I mean, all the above.
I don't think we're being too hard on him. I think the vibe that comes across is contorted. I think the one thing we do have to say is we don't know what it's like to be in that situation, how that would might or likely would fry our circuits into doing odd, weird, sort of self-sabotaging shit, because I kind of feel like it's inescapable to go through. And just from all the people I've heard talk about it and how they respond to it. And I was about to record a short-ish, not a YouTube short, but a really like quick, just sort of off the top of my head video, where because I heard Joe Strummer from The Clash talking about in an interview how there's times where people come up to me, they want an autograph or a picture, and I'm just like kind of like, oh, come on, man. But then I think about it, and it's like, well, you could have an ego about it, or you could just be cool. We don't think about, like, the point of my video is going to be like, if you've had a bad experience when you walk up to an artist and try to engage them, and it doesn't quite go the way you wanted, people like just by default sympathize with the fan, and they think, oh, well, that person wasn't cool and they should be cool to their fans. We don't think about what that expectation does to the person that's being projected on, right? Where someone's like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. It's like all this projection. And I don't think we're built to be able to withstand a ton of that. And so we're asking more than what we think we are of these people. And I think when I want artists to stay on track, I'm not in their shoes. I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm like, well, you should somehow find a. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
um, uh, the Eli train is back. Like it's easy for us to say, right? We didn't go diamond, and then have
Hmm.
all these feelings about fame, and then go through that. It seems like, I don't think I'm overusing this word. It seems like it was traumatic to him.
Hmm.
Success,
Sure.
right? And so he's chafing against that now. Who knows what you and I might do if we did something that just was coming naturally to us, and all of a sudden it goes is like the biggest thing, and everybody pins that on you. I sent you that clip of Tyler the Creator saying he doesn't do funny videos anymore.
Sure.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, man, like your sense of humor was like a big part of who you are. Now I don't do it because people will come up to him and say, "Oh, you're that funny guy," and he's like, "Dude, I just made a record with an orchestra or something," right? But it killed his desire to do humor publicly, which was his one of his main modes of just being natural. That tells me something. And I think this can happen. I think content creation is sort of the new frontier for the everyday person to run into this same wall where, like, you and I would be doing this with or without a camera, right?
Yeah. And we did.
Right. And we do. And
We
my
do.
thing,
Yeah.
the reason why I'm on YouTube is I literally walk down the street talking to myself about these things. I'm like, fuck it, let me just point a camera at it and try to make it work for me. But I could see getting to a point where it feels like I'm hooked up to a reverse IV drip that's pulling drops out more than it's giving me back. I could see it getting to that point if, like, oh, you've got to do 6 of these videos a day, or even, man, that last video really hit. Let's, because if it did, then you have like a machine behind you. I can remember Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses and other people in this position saying, when you when something you've done gets big on that scale, you completely lose control of your life. You are being dragged along by this thing that has its own momentum. And most of us in the 80s looking at a band going double platinum, we'd be like, wow, I'd love that, would be amazing, right? So maybe there's more of the story here. I don't know that we're being too hard. We're not in his shoes. I think he could approach this better, though. Even not being in his shoes, I feel like if he had the right support, somebody to talk to him like this, if he would listen, if he would hear it, to kind of be like, hey, man, rewater your garden, your creative garden. You're a creative person. That's never going to change. Why are you kind of playing games with your own muse is what I would ask him just to consider.